Hi, Rainer. Great to have you here. Before we dive into the questions, Rainer, I'd like to briefly introduce this interview series, yeah, and also then later ask my questions. In the FCI communication team's interviews, we focus on our product, future cloud infrastructure, also known as T-Cloud Private, exploring why it's such a key part of Deutsche Telekom's cloud ecosystem and what makes it stand out right now. With these interviews, our goal is to share authentic stories on LinkedIn straight from the people like you, Rainer, who make FCI a success. Before I start to ask my questions, Rainer, is there anything you want to mention?
No, thank you. Thanks a lot for inviting me. And I'm happy to share my experiences made so far with you and the team.
Sure. Thank you so much for your time, Rainer. Then let's start with my first question. What is FCI and why is it important for Deutsche Telekom, Rainer? What do you think about that?
Well, I think we will cover a lot of more details going forward, but from a top level perspective, we as T-Systems, we are part of Deutsche Telekom, and we provide business to business services, not business to customer. And what we need, or our enterprise customers need, are for sure scalable, easy to use infrastructure platforms. Let's call it like that. And we have a couple of these platforms within our portfolio in T-Systems. And the idea to develop FCI that started in 2019. Yeah. And that wasn't the clear aim was to offer a service, a platform service that our business customers can manage by themselves via self-services. And we all know the world of the hyperscalers like the Azure, Google, and Amazon. They are very successful providing infrastructure services where the customer can manage his landscapes and the SDDC by himself. And that was the clear idea, to develop something similar, easy to use, easy to consume, self-service self-service on top, and that is the main difference. This is a private cloud. Private cloud, what does it mean? It means know your customer. We know our customers before they use our services. We need a contract, a frame contract. We know exactly whom we deal with. That is a difference to public cloud, where you can just use your credit card, log in and use it. So before a customer can use a private cloud, because we have much more security, layers on top, compliant things, certifications. We need to know our customer upfront, and then they can use it. That was the first thing. So make it easy consumable, even if it is a private cloud. Second thing was to use it immediately. And coming back or looking back 10 years, 5 years ago, if we set up a private environment for a customer, this was mostly a bespoken solution. And it was pretty difficult, and it took a long time to onboard customers. Not only to order hardware, to set it up, but to give the customer the ability to access it via whatever network. So second top point was onboarding of a new customer takes minutes, hours, and not months. That was the second thing. The third one was to develop FCI as a standardized platform with the idea to consolidate many similar platforms we are running worldwide into one offering. Standardization and consolidation. That was the third thing we had in mind when we started with FCI. And the fourth thing was we want to provide a platform, a private cloud platform, not only in Germany or in the DACH region. We wanted to provide it internationally, worldwide. And that's what we see today. We have 7 FCI regions, 7 in 6 countries. So we are distributed across Europe, and we have one platform running or tech base running in North America. And on top, we offer FCI in customer locations so that we can extend the FCI product family, that's how we call it, not only within our data centers, but on customer premises as well. So that was the idea. Customers can manage it by themselves, so easy to consume. Onboarding takes minutes or hours, standardization, consolidation, and we want to provide it on an international scale. That was the idea behind. And that was the aim once we started with FCI.
Perfect. Thank you, Rainer. That really highlights the role of FCI in the bigger T-Cloud picture, what we have in Deutsche Telekom. Perfect.
Exactly. We will cover the T-Cloud. We can cover it as well now. So with FCI, we now are in our fifth year. So we started. The first version we offered was in 2020. 5 years later, now, as said, we have 7 regions rolled out. We have many customers on FCI running now. And the good thing is, and because it is such a success, the platform is a success, that's what we know, financial-wise, quality-wise. We are now part of the overall T-Cloud brand. T-Cloud, that is the offer into the market from Deutsche Telekom, not only T-Systems. And we, with FCI, are part of it. And that really makes us very proud that Deutsche Telekom now offers business-to-business services as well. Because in the past, they did business to customer only. And with the increasing demand for sovereignty, European-based cloud infrastructures, the idea was with the T-Cloud approach to offer exactly things like that. So the OTC and FCI, we have a portfolio which really brings that piece of sovereignty discussion into the game. And after with the T-Cloud, and yesterday we heard the introduction of Tim Höttges and Deutsche Telekom together with NVIDIA. We set up an AI gigafactory in Munich, so with 10,000s of GPU nodes. And the good thing is, the customers can use the AI gigafactory with FCI. FCI is one of the platforms we connect to the AI gigafactory in Munich. So we are
very good news. It's really good news. And let me, Rainer, ask about this topic. You talk about T-Cloud. We have, as I know, we have T-Cloud public and T-Cloud private. And T-Cloud private is FCI. Am I right?
That is correct. Yes.
Perfect. Good. Thank you so much, Rainer. Let's jump to the next question. What does your role contribute to the development of FCI? I know you, Rainer, we work in the same project, FCI, you as business owner, and I work as a Scrum Master. But my next question is, your role as business owner contribute to develop the FCI?
Yep. So maybe let's start again when FCI started. So I joined the FCI team 2020 when we kicked off the first release, a little bit before. And my role was, I was part of the portfolio team. Okay. And I was asked to join FCI as the principal offering manager for FCI. That was my initial role. And my main duties when I started with FCI was to achieve, of course, the business case we've made. So that FCI will be as successful as we all hoped. So second thing was to develop the overall go-to-market. Yeah? Go-to-market means how do we set up FCI as a product? We call it offering. What kind of flavors do we offer? How does it integrate into different kind of services? And that's what we today call the FCI product family. So we have that kind of dedicated, shared, different flavors, on-prem and edge. So all of this stuff was what I was working on primarily. Yeah? On top, the way we develop products. And maybe you remember, you are a long time with us now. At the beginning, we had that kind of, typical project portfolio development. It's a waterfall approach. We say once a year we do a release. What will be part of the release, and then we have a ready for sales and a ready for service and a ready for production milestone. That was the back in 2020, and we've seen that that kind of old waterfall model will not work with FCI, because our idea was to do regular upgrades of the platform. Yeah, so we call it evergreening. And the process behind that project setup hindered us to deploy things fast.
Yeah.
And then that was my role as a portfolio manager at the time. We had a couple of discussions, and in 2022 we then introduced our SAFe approach, and you know that we are now developing FCI using the scaled agile framework, where we have release trains, and roughly each 3 months we have a new release, minor, major, it depends on, and that is continuously rolled out to our customers. And that is what I think was the biggest change in how we develop FCI, to make the change from waterfall to agile methods. That was something we introduced in 2022. And today, for sure, changes, the world is changing. So today I'm the business owner together with Christian. That's what we know. My strength is not so much in the technical detail, but what I'm accountable for primarily is, well, to have the final financial management behind it that is proper, that we have the right go-to-market, that we have a vertical interlock, we need the kind of certifications and compliance rules, process improvements, costing and pricing. So that is basically where I have my strength in, and for sure, whether we do that kind of prioritization, what do we want to bring in the next release? That's something I do. I'm not the technical guy. I'm more the commercial and the service guy. So that's my role, and that's why we have two BOs, one coming from the technical depth and the other one coming from the market. So that's basically how we divide a little bit the duties.
So perfect. Thank you, Rainer. Yeah, we work in the same project. I see your dedication in FCI, and thanks for all your efforts. Yeah, thank you. It's great, Rainer, to hear how your experience support shaping the FCI in business part. Actually, yeah, it's also really important for being or having such a successful product, FCI. Now, from your perspective, Rainer, what would you say is the best thing about FCI?
A couple of them. Let me start with quality. Yeah. So the quality we deliver with FCI is outstanding, like that. So we have a robust platform. Yeah, everything is redundant. We provide, as I already mentioned, regularly major and minor releases multiple times a year seamlessly to our customer. The customers get new features, they get enhanced services, latest patches automatically without asking. So, and quality as such leads to that we have huge SAP workloads on our platform, including SAP RISE. which makes us proud as well. And the best thing is, because we are so quality-wise, we are really good. Believe me, we receive amazing feedback of our customers. Yeah, because the platform is really stable. So that is, I think, the best we can get. Super feedback of our customers. We have many reference customers already, which we've never had before. So based on that, that makes me really proud, and that's why I think this is amazing. What else is cool is that coming back where we come from the business case, that we are able to meet the business case we've done 6 years ago, financial-wise. Yeah. And it was a bet. It was in the past. It was a bet in the future. Can we make it? Are we really able to bring in that economies of scale that the platform typically has? And yes, we stick to the standards. That leads to stability, and we can easily scale. And based on that, we can achieve the business case we've done 6 years ago. And that is, for me, the third thing where I say, that makes me happy.
Proud of that.
Yeah, exactly. And for sure, we are very well prepared for the upcoming sovereignty discussions. A T-Cloud thing, and what about we discussed 5 minutes ago? Why? Because we provide with FCI, and that is part of the go-to-market we discussed. We provide services, FCI services, with different operational models. So depends on the customer demand. We can provide operations out of Germany for German customers who need German operations teams. We can provide it that it will be operated out of Europe, which is very important. And for sure, we can provide operations from offshore India as well. So that is one thing. The other thing is that we are able to make many certifications in the past years. So we are compliant to SOC 1 and SOC type 1 and 2. We have the kind of BSI certification for C5. We have the BSI certification for IT Grundschutz, GXP, Kritis, EN 5600, and the force. So we are pretty good prepared for sovereignty discussions on the one hand side. On the other hand side, we are pretty good prepared for different industries. Like BaFin readiness or DORA readiness or something like that. So that is part of our overall FCI go-to-market, that we are able to comply with their governance rules. That's why I say, or why we say, T-Cloud will bring us, I think, a big push again, and we are pretty well prepared. Last but not least, and that's what we already mentioned, is the T-Cloud thing with the AI Gigafactory. So yeah, that are the main 5-6 points where I say that really amazes me most.
Yeah, definitely. And all these certificates that you already mentioned right now show that how solid is our platform FCI. Yeah, and it sounds like the customers really get the benefit from these so many options that we have in FCI.
Absolutely. That's what I said. So the customer is able, although we provide it's a standard, but everything is sized to different customer demands, compliance-wise, vertical-wise. So that is where we think we are well prepared for that. What is in front of us.
Good to hear that. Rainer, until now we talk about the bright side of the FCI. Yeah, I know that every big thing that has also its own challenge. Let's now talk about the challenge. What were the challenges during the development of FCI, and how have they been solved?
Yeah. It's too easy to say the last 5 years was easygoing. You're absolutely right. So we had challenges. We had a couple of. Let me maybe start with what I said at the beginning. What was the aim to start with FCI? So as I said, we want to make the onboarding of a customer using a private cloud as fast as possible. and not to order additional lines, WAN lines or something like that. So, and you maybe remember we had a slogan called "A private cloud feels like a public cloud." That was at the beginning. And then the point is, if we want to connect or onboard customers on a private cloud environment as fast as possible, we needed to develop a solution. And in parallel to FCI, we started with the development of MCCP. That is our cloud connectivity product. And that cloud connectivity product enables us that customers who wants to use FCI today can simply now connect their network via VPN within minutes. And that makes FCI so interesting for customers who need private clouds for compliance purposes. They do not have to wait to connect. They do not have to wait to set it up. It's immediately available, and they can immediately connect their network with their private cloud infrastructure on FCI. And that is, I think, and that was a big challenge to sort it out. And now we have that MCCP product in place, will be developed going forward. We can connect not only customer network with FCI, the customer can connect with FCI and Google or Amazon or Microsoft or whatever. So without that, the success of FCI wouldn't have been there. That was, from my point of view, the most important lever that FCI can be provided as a cloud. So that was the first thing. We managed it, and today the MCCP is a real successful product, not only for FCI but for other platforms or services within T-Systems. It's not only for FCI today; it's a layer on top. Second thing was the aim, as I said, we want to standardize and consolidate. So develop FCI internationally as a standard and consolidate everything we have in place, smaller platforms, bigger platforms, to FCI. That was a clear aim. And point was that so if we want to consolidate and we want to run down existing platforms, first, the workloads of the customers must be migrated to FCI. And that was not so easy because so first we introduced the so-called migration factory. The migration factory was the purpose was to develop tools, technologies, standards to cover most of the migration challenges we've seen out of the box. That was the first one thing. But we all know that the last 10% are maybe the most difficult ones. And we had really many tough discussions how to make it happen and how can we mitigate the impact to our customers migrating from platform R to FCI. And that was the main challenge from 2022 to 2024. Let's make it like that. Today we have use cases in place where we know, okay, if the customer has that kind of landscape, this can be migrated like that. We are much more mature today. But at the beginning, everything needs to be developed from scratch. And that was a huge challenge. And that was not so easy, as said, because migrating workloads, landscapes means impact to customer. And that was the main topic to mitigate as much as possible the impact. So that was a tough time, honestly speaking. Third point was, and that's always the case if you have a new product, a new offering, is how do you bring the knowledge about FCI into our organization? We started as a small FCI team, and at the beginning, everything came to us, regardless if it comes to deals, new deals, solutions, costing, migrations, to set up FCI for landscapes of other customers, so the solution design. And we decided that we need to enable our organization better to get a better understanding of FCI. And what we have done is that we offered some kind of training path. Okay, a training path, it's basically where we say, okay, we have different roles in our company, like enterprise architects, a solution designer, expert seller, and they get different levels of training. So for the enterprise architect, of course, it is more in the technical detail.
Yeah.
For our sellers, it is more the go-to-market, not what is under the hood for sure. For our solution designers, the commercial part is more interesting than maybe the go-to-market. And that's why we introduced the FCI training path. The employees can make a certification, an FCI certification, and that was what started 2.5 years ago. And I think what I can say today, the knowledge about FCI landed where it should land. So the organization is enabled. We are now really in a situation that everybody in T-Systems knows what is FCI, who are the counterparts to talk to, what is the process, how is the technology working. And we now are focusing much more on delivery, quality, development going forward, and not anymore providing solutions to customers, try to fix features or bring in features as quick as possible to help our deal team for new customers with special demands, because we basically are now in a situation where a lot of features required for enterprises are already in. So, yeah, that is the third thing, which was a challenge, the knowledge transfer internally within T-Systems. And the last thing, and I said it always all comes back to what I mentioned at the beginning, was the financials and the business case. Yeah, because we have invested really a 3-digit million number into FCI, and
perfect.
That was a bet in the future. And as you all know, a platform will become profitable once the efficiency of scales are there. And it materialized, and we've cleared that hurdle as well. So if you ask me, 5 years back, or the last 5 years, it was a really tough time, but now we are in a mature state, and we just want to develop FCI going forward for more customers, including the AI Gigafactory integration, including the T-Cloud offerings, including sovereignty. So I think we are really well prepared. That's what I wanted to say.
Good to hear that, Rainer. Yeah, totally agree with you. It's really make me happy to see how we overcome all these challenges in FCI, each of us in our own roles. Yeah, how we overcome all these challenges. And you talk also about making everybody knows now what is FCI and what is doing, or the aim of the FCI. And it's also the thing that we in FCI communication teams going to do that, make FCI more visible in internet. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the job you are doing is as important as the engineer who is developing a feature. Yeah, so we need to enable our communities to better understand FCI, to make it visible. Yeah, because FCI is a product, is a platform which is appropriate for a couple of use cases going forward.
Exactly. All of us are just part of the puzzle, Rainer. Each of us has our own role, and this big picture always make with all these puzzles. We all get together and make this big picture visible. Thank you so much, Rainer. You answered all my questions, and thanks for sharing your insights with FCI communication teams. I really enjoyed our talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Hasin. Talk to you later.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.